then that brings us to the shenanigans of the weigh-in of of Jojo Diaz's failing to make weight. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even watch. I was going to watch the zone card and then move into Top Rank because my internet wasn't giving me problems yesterday, so I had all my systems going. But when a fighter loses the the belt on the scales, like Jojo Diaz did, like Benavidez did, it deflates the fight for me. I'm no longer interested. I am no longer interested. So because that leads me to believe, or not believe, it's been a proven fact that when a fighter misses weight on the scales, they're not going to put up a good caliber fight. They're not going to go in there. Something happened. There was a lack of discipline in camp. Something happened, and they're trying to lose so much weight to still not even make the weight. Jojo Diaz wasn't going to be the same, and apparently, it showed yesterday because I was watching the Twitter feed and Tevin Farmer was on it. He was calling him out like crazy, and so apparently he looked sluggish. Wasn't the Jojo Diaz of before, and it showed because the fight ended in a draw.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Farmer was coming off the top rope, and
Yeah.
then just and he was doing what he do, and he I guess he had every right to because Jojo was talking a lot, coming into it. I like Jojo Diaz, but you can't come into a fight like talking like that, and then you're gonna miss weight and you lose the title on the scales. Like it's a little embarrassing, and I think he felt embarrassed about the whole situation and the fight because afterwards when he was with Beto Duran, he was like letting off some f bombs here and there, and that just comes from a frustrated place. And so I don't know if Jojo is good for 130 anymore. I think he will be. You know, I just think that he just had a kid, and all those things that come along with that. And it so happens that the two examples that you use, him and Benavidez, they both had their significant other had a child, during that time, or were pregnant. So those things happen, and so I think that Jojo Diaz will come back, and he'll get his shot again. But now the problem is that Tevin Farmer, I think, was going to fight for an interim title for the IBF, but now that it's up for grabs, maybe they have to do the rematch now, or Tevin Farmer gets first dibs at it, and then Jojo has to wait until after that fight, and then now we'll have to fight on Farmer's terms. So it's just an interesting thing that is going to unravel with that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We'll see how it plays out. But nevertheless, you have, aside from all the things you prepare for a camp, you got one job, and that's to make sure you make weight, both JoJo and his trainer, and for anybody else for that matter, because there's no room in today's boxing game. There's not any room for any of that stuff. I mean, one loss on your record, one draw, you losing the fight, you losing your title on the scales could flip your whole career around. I mean, look at the hard time Andy Ruiz is having bouncing back from the Johnson loss, only because like he self-admittedly said, "I just partied too much, I ate too much." Even though the heavyweight division, the weight on the scales didn't matter, but the performance mattered because he was obviously out of shape, slow, and sluggish. Uh, Benavidez was able to bounce back better because he's just that good of a boxer and fighter that he was able to bounce back. And the same thing, like you said, it always happens around a life event. Regis lost. Regis was overweight on the scales, and his wife was, I don't know, something about pregnant wives, and maybe they
Hmm.
eat when the wife gets hungry or something like that. When they get the cravings, the wife gets the craving, they get the cravings. But anyway, it's sad. It shakes things up. There's nothing wrong with making an assessment and say, you know what, I just can't fight at this weight no more. Teofimo is like, look, if a fight with Cambosos or somebody doesn't play out in the near future, I'm going to move up. I can't be waiting around because he self-admitted says he's having a hard time making 135 pounds.